Miss Michelle Lewis.
Well, it's time for some shenanigans, don't you think? I think.
Waiting all night.
I'll tell you, it has been such a long time since I've heard a good story. Paul Calicote, we've got a storyteller we need to get on up here on the stage. Our friend Norm Davis is coming. Norm, come on up here. Norman Davis. Looks like they got you all set. I'm going to move this a little bit closer to you.
Okay.
All right. So talk into this microphone a little bit.
Talk.
We like that you're here because I understand you have a story to tell the crowd here.
I have a story to tell.
Well, get to it, man.
Okay. Well, you know, Mother's Day is coming up.
Mother's Day is almost here.
And I want everybody to remember their mother like I remember mine. I just turned 90, and my mother is as precious to me as when I was 16. Much more so, really, because I was a bad boy when I was 16.
Oh, no.
And,
Did you break your mother's heart?
well, I broke a lot of things, but she always had faith in me.
She loved you.
And if I had known the last time I ran away from home that I would never see my mother again, I would never have left.
Right.
But, you know, life don't give you a menu.
Don't get a do-over, do you?
No. But my mother was an interesting woman and a funny woman. She was not pretty at all. She was very overweight, but she loved every child that ever walked by.
She sounds beautiful to me.
And there was always a crowd at our house. And she was always very tolerant. And when I left to go in the Navy...
How old were you?
I was 17. And I wasn't very good about writing home. And the captain called me to his office. And he said, I have a letter here from your mother. And he said, do you own a paper and some pencils?
Oh.
I said, yes. And he said, well, from as long as you're on my ship, you'll write to your mother once a week. And he said, and I will read the letter and I will post it for you.
Today that's called being busted, Norman.
Yeah. So I knew
he was going to hold your feet to the fire.
But everybody got a kick out of my mother, everybody on the ship, because of the packages she sent.
Oh, did she send you care packages?
Oh, yeah.
I always tell my friends that are going to be gone that I'm going to do that, and I never come through.
And I always liked her Toll House cookies, and she always included those. And she loved Maud Muller candy.
Which kind?
Maud Muller. It was an expensive shop on 4th Avenue.
Okay.
And she usually had a box of Maud Muller candy in my package. And she would have a little note where she had taken a piece out of the candy. And she would tell me how good it was. You know. And she just couldn't resist taking a bite of this candy.
Bless her heart.
But all the guys on the ship loved for me to get a package from Mom. I was on a small ship. There's only 41 of us.
Oh, are you kidding? 41?
On a seagoing tug. And everybody shared everything. And they always looked for...
the Toll House cookies.
And Christmas of 1947 was a difficult time. It was about the end of my tour in the South Pacific.
Yes.
But anyway, I got this package, and it had the usual Toll House cookies, and it had the the candy with a little note in it. And she sent me several things. She sent me some handkerchiefs, and she sent me a pair of gloves. Now, they were standard GI gloves, wool gloves. If you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Right.
And I'm on the equator, in the tropics.
What did she want you to do with the gloves, Norman?
What in the world was that? So I took them down to the peacoat locker and put them in the coat to the peacoat locker. Well, that year passed fairly fast, and I was off the coast of Panama in 1947, and my mother died, and I got word to come home. So my mother died. It was hard to get home. Took me a good while to find a way to get off the ship, and then I had to go begging for a ride from Panama.
Right.
But anyway, I got home, and I got drunk.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm surprised, Norman.
yeah. And I pretty much stayed drunk the whole time.
Aw,
She had been buried 12 or 15 days
before you
I
got home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I went back to the ship, and it was late in the year, and I was hoping to get home for Christmas because Dad was wanting us to home for Christmas. And but we had several chores to do on the ship, getting it ready to go out of commission. And there was a chore that we had to do for the Navy to break up a bunch of the Gillette razor blades had bought several of the old ships to make into razor blades. And they were in Drake's Bay, right north of California.
They were going to make them into what?
Razor blades.
Oh, the ships.
Yeah.
Oh, they were going to recycle the metal.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm with you.
And they bought them from the Navy, but anyway, they were anchored in Drake's Bay.
Okay.
And that was about 30 miles north of San Francisco. This was late December, and cold and rainy and awful. And I was standing anchor watch, waiting for morning to start moving these ships down to Frisco. And I thought of those gloves. And my work gloves were worn out. My fingers were sticking out of them. And the rain was coming down. And I had to spend a good bit of time outside.
Mm-hmm.
So I went down in the peacoat locker and I got that out. I put those gloves in my pocket and went back up on the bridge. I threw my old gloves over the side and I put those gloves on. And there was a note in the finger of that glove
There was a note.
from the year before.
Yes.
And I took that out and I walked around behind the bridge where the light came out
Yes.
from the bridge. But anyway, I read this note, and it said, "Is it cold, baby?" She knew that I would never have those gloves on
Unless it was cold.
unless it was cold.
Oh, Norman, I love your story. I love your story. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your story.
I want everybody to remember their mother.
Remember Mom. Don't forget her. She loves you.
Good job, buddy.
Thank you, Norman Davis.